Cool. So let's start. Good morning, everybody. Bring your feet together. Allow your feet to touch. Let your shoulders relax. And then extend your head top up to the highest point with the chin tucked. And then bring your hands together at the center. They're not going above shoulder level. The elbows and wrists are relaxed. Base of the palms connect first. And then let the whole structure settle. So if your hands are up here, it's not relaxed. Allow everything to relax. And then calibrate from the top down. Check. Do you have power going to the head top? Are you pushing up through the center? You can be relaxed while you're pushing up through the center. Relax your brow. Open your vision. Open your nostrils sideways to take in more air. Relax the inside of your sinuses. Keep working, keep breathing. The tongue is connected to the upper palate. The jaw is relaxed, and we want the shoulders in line with the ears. So it means you put your head up and back with the chin tucked. Shoulders roll back and relaxed. We're using the center to support. So this is engaged a little bit. The tailbone is relaxed and sinking. Insides of the hip are folded. The knees, there's a bend so that we're not completely straight-legged. There's a slight bend in the knees. The ankle should feel like there's power inside the ankle, so the ankle is expanding. And we're gripping the feet. In the beginning, when I talk about this, I talk about gripping the feet quite a bit. And so that's sort of a beginner idea, is gripping the feet very heavily. If you understand how it should be, we're only gripping the feet lightly. And then make sure the arch of the foot is pronounced, because when the feet, sometimes they can become lazy and fold in. So this posture, Tai Chi Harmony, we're gonna examine more later. Relax, take a deep breath. Before we do Tai Chi, we're gonna warm up just a little bit. So we're gonna start with some stretching, and then we're gonna move around on the feet for a little bit. So going from the top to the bottom, when you stretch, I have a routine, a pattern that I like to do, just working from the head top, turning. So the whole time we're pushing up through the head top. And so when you turn, try to reach the extents, and this is your stretch, this is your workout. So where it feels tight or tense, you can stretch a little bit extra in that area. Try to leave your shoulders relaxed, leave your shoulders behind, turning. You can change directions as you like. And then at some point, come back to the center and correct your alignment again, pushing up through the head top, relax the tailbone. Take your right hand, reach across, grab your left ear, and then reaching out sideways. Keep your center line straight. So line up your thumb, your nose, and the far elbow in one line, and then you can extend, so like you're stretching horizontally in that axis. Breathing to increase the stretch, and then relax on the exhale. The same thing on the other side. Take your other hand, reach across, make your center line strong, straight, and then pull with the elbow, extend with the fingertips. Breathing to increase the stretch, and then on the exhale, relax. We could do more of those. We're gonna do shoulder rolls. So coming from the center, imagine all the movement is coming from the center. So use as much of your upper torso to do the shoulder roll as possible. This is long breathing. You can time it with the breathing, but you don't have to. So keep turning. Feel your collarbones, feel your shoulder blades. And then change directions, roll some going the other way. Make sure your breathing is relaxed. And then next, we're gonna do a little bit of turning around the waist. So for this one, I want you to keep your feet parallel. You can see on the screen, my feet are facing forward. And the same thing with your hips. So from your waist down, there's no movement. It's like you're sitting your upper body on a pedestal. And then we're gonna turn. So you can practice this exercise any way that you like. I recommend some people it's just a light turning, if that's all you need for your spine. I recommend trying to get the momentum to this point where your hands are free floating in the center. So even if they're heavy at the start and the finish, in the middle, they should be floating. Also notice I'm not turning my head. I keep my jawline facing the monitor as well. And so next we're going to add a change. The same thing, we want to keep the center line being strong is one of the most important things. So turning up and over. Let your rear hand go all the way around, wrapping. Breathing deep. We're going to change one more time. The same thing. My lower body isn't moving much. On this one, we're going to turn. I'm standing on one foot, raising the other heel, trying to keep my center line straight. If you do these correctly, you may feel the energy in your arms. This can open the psychic meridians in the arms. And then the last one, a little bit more complex. Reach over the top and around the back. For those of you who can do it, keep working. For everybody else, turning, if it's your left hand, pat your left shoulder, your right hand reaches across to the left side. So we turn this way. And now on the other side, we change the right hand reaching over the back, left hand here. So reach up, reach up, reach up, reach up. That's right, you got it. And you can get a rhythm, you can get a momentum. So there's 4 of those exercises. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next, again, straighten your structure and then turning around the waist. So imagine you have a hula hoop and you're pressing to all points inside the circle. And again, this is your workout. This is your warm up. So I may move in a linear fashion, but if you feel an area where it's tight, you can stop in or near that area to stretch around a little bit in it. Still long breathing while we work out. If you haven't changed directions, making circles, change directions. Try to keep your neck straight while we do this exercise. And so for the next one, we'll bring the feet together. This is just warming up the kneecaps. Rub the kneecaps to feel the friction. You should be generating heat with your hands. And then next, we're going to, if you take we're gonna do a stretch, but we're gonna turn into a qigong exercise. So I want you to feel like you have a string connected to the end of the center finger, your middle finger here, and that string goes all the way up to the ceiling. So we're gonna start with the feet together, and we're gonna take the middle finger leading, as if it's being pulled up and out to the side. Somewhere between your elbows and your shoulder level. And then sitting the tailbone backwards, we're gonna push one heel forward and then sitting back on that hip. You can, if you have difficulty balancing, you can use this hand to balance. Otherwise, using the hands here, leaning forward, try to get your chin to the toes. And then breathing deep, take your other hand and all along the back side of the leg. All the way to the ankle, all the way up. Remember to breathe. This is an intense stretch. And then when you feel good breathing, stand up. I'll turn to the side for this next one. The same thing. We start with the feet parallel. Bring the hands up. Grip the right foot. The other foot steps forward. I'm pushing my tailbone back and away. Looking forward. Keep the neck straight. And then tapping on the back of the leg. Still breathing. When you feel good, come back up to the center. We're going to do one more for the ankles. This is pushing forward, out to the side, straight back, center. Try the other side. Grip the ground, push forward, go out to the side, straight back, center. And then free your other foot. If you step shoulder width wide, shift your center to one side. Turn the whole ankle, knee, and hip around the toe. So relax your leg. Long breathing. Turn the other direction. Try to make the circle with your ankle as large as you can. And then switch, grip the ground. Put your toe, turning. Let the whole leg relax. Feel like you can open and expand your ankle by turning the circle, breathing. And then change. Let's do a little bit of, we're gonna do some X stepping. So before we do that, let's do some long breathing first. We'll do some Qigong. So take a nice comfortable stance. And we're going to start from the center, breathing, inhale, all the way up, and make it a stretch. So this is for your whole body, pressing up through the palms, and then exhaling out to the side. So long breathing, inflating all the way to the max. And we can use this stretch to increase the breathing or the breathing to increase the stretch, either way. Coming back to the center. You can go at your own pace. Everybody has different lungs, a different breathing patterns. So go on your own. So make it a stretch. When you stretch, every time you stretch just a little bit more, that's the purpose of the stretch, is to stretch yourself. So feel what it is to push against the ground, against the sky. And also full relaxation on the exhale. So there's a yin and a yang, fully stretched, fully expanded. And then on the exhale is fully relaxed. Again, go at your own pace. This one is not benefited by having a very serious expression on your face. So if I forgot to mention it earlier, a half smile is the minimum. You should find that the quality of your movement changes based on the expression on your face. And wherever you're at on the next one, will be the last one. Take one long, last deep breath. And next, we're going to practice some X-stepping, which is the basis of the Tai Chi stepping, and also a good exercise to strengthen your legs. So we're going to start at a place that we're going to call our center. So I'm going to turn to face away from the camera, but the shape is a basic square. So if I pick this as my center, and I step to the corner, and then I step to the corner in this direction, and then here, and then here. It just so happens that I actually have 4 slippers that I can use as an example. So imagine you have 4 corners where you're going to step. It looks something like this. And when you start in the center, I can measure this square, right? Mathematically, if I go shoulder width wide, and then I step shoulder width deep, I end up somewhere like that. So I can move these and step to the corner and center, and to this corner and center, and to this corner, center, and to this corner, center. One of the other very important things you'll see is we want to have the alignment. This form has a very mathematical alignment, very mathematical, very geometric structure. So while we do this X-stepping, keep your feet, they're always parallel. For me, I can use the carpet. For you, you can pick something on the floor to make sure that your feet don't tilt out or turn in just a little bit. From the center, stepping to the corner, shift back to the center. This whole time, relaxing the tailbone. Imagine you have an anchor at the bottom of your spine, and you need to drag it from one corner to the other corner and back. And now when we step to the corner, balance, grip the ground, step. Breathing, step to the corner, align your foot, relax your tailbone, balance. Exhaling, center, forward, grip the ground, relax the tailbone, lift, center. One more, grip the ground, relax the tailbone, lift and center. Let's actually talk about some things for balance, how to improve balance. So balance, in the beginning, I tell people, grip your feet, where you look is where you go, and the breathing. So if you fix the middle, the bottom, and the top, three basic things. If I activate my foot, if you see my foot, I can grip my foot into the ground and then really set my weight onto the foot. The middle is relaxing the tailbone. If I make this, so you can see a lot of people having this, and really should be this, right? So we want that sinking. And the top is straightening the neck and focusing the vision. So now let's practice that balance. If you have those ideas, for more advanced people, we want to be using the whole dantian, right? So if you understand the physical aspect of the dantian, if you use that, you won't need to focus on the details. So from the center, if we step back to the corner, grip the ground, and practice balancing for a second, breathing. And then return back to the center. And then when we step to the next corner, grip the ground. Relax your tailbone. Look at something stable. Return. We also mentioned the breathing, so grip the ground. Relax the center. Straighten the neck, focus the vision. Center. Rear right. Grip. Relax. Breathe. Focus. Balance. So this basic X-stepping exercise, you can repeat. It's something you can do in a very small space. And the type of stepping actually increases the leg power in a different way than some other exercises. Before we're going to do the form, and I'd like to do all 3 sections, so hang in there. And I'm going to talk a little bit about a place that we can always sync up to the form for people that don't know the long form. Today we're gonna do the form, but then we're gonna look at a series of 8 to 10 postures, depending on how you split it, that we can always come back to the form with. So let's actually start with those. If I start and I make my feet shoulder width wide, and I sink my tailbone, from the beginning we have grasp the sparrow's tail and ward off on both sides. And then we have a series of movements. We have roll back, press, push, look left, glance right, double press, split, hook, and single whip. Those 8 postures repeat 8 times throughout our long form. So if you can remember just the first 8 postures of the form, when we practice the long form, a lot of times you'll hear me say, return to roll back, or breathing deep to roll back, something like that. Because we come back to those 8 postures. Imagine if it's like a song, this would be like a chorus that repeats a few times throughout. The same thing when we talk about music. The exercise we did this morning when we're stretching these tendons in the back of the leg and tapping the tendon, this is very similar to creating a vibration in a guitar. The tendons, when they're stretched, just like a guitar string going over the frets, and then when you hit the string, it creates a vibration. You can actually work on the whole meridian just by tapping on one particular locality. So going up and down the leg, back of the leg is beneficial that way. So let's do the whole form, and then we're going to come back and look at just the basic routine. This is the beginning. Before we do questions, thoughts, comments. Yeah. Okay. So in the meantime, we're going to start. So allow your feet to touch, bring the head top up, relax your tailbone, relax the shoulders. I'll be facing in this direction first. We're going to turn, the form will turn around just a little bit. So if you get lost or you have some difficulty following, just hang in there. I'm going to try to practice slow enough that not only can everybody follow, but also sort of rejoin if we need to, that kind of speed. Head top is up, tailbone is relaxed. Bring the hands together in the center. Grip your right foot. We're going to open shoulder width wide to the left. The hands float all the way, power to the fingertips, and then settling. This is called Tai Chi, Qi Shi, the start of Tai Chi, sometimes called commencement. From this posture here, we're going to draw a circle on the right side to grasp the sparrow's tail. We're going to step forward and ward off. On the left side, draw a circle or a spiral to catch. We're going to step square, step straight forward into an X step and ward off. Roll back. This is like leading a rope. We're going to turn 90 degrees accurately, and then join the palms, turning back to the north. This is press. Making a large circle, this is push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal, splitting hands. Hook. Single whip. Turning the feet to the north. This is Ki So San Chi. Lift hands to upward posture. We're going to turn 90 degrees. This is called crane, opening its wings. Bai Hu Liang Si. So Wei Pi Pa. Brush knee, square step, press. Tui Bu, square step back in line with the foot. This is a repetition of crane opening the wings. So wei pi pa. Brush knee, press. We're changing the form. This is holding the moon in the chest. We'll pick up the brush knees in the second section. Right side going forward. This is Ban Lan Shui. Turning the hands and wrist. Grip the ground. Lan. Step. Shui. Rufo Sibi. Making a circle and then pressing to the center once, twice. Take a deep breath. This is return tiger to mountain. Feet are parallel, shoulder width wide. Bring the right foot back to the left. The left foot forms a T or a square. Step to the square. Palm press to the center. And then breathing deep, this is a rollback. These are the first 8 movements in the form. Join the palms together. Press. Push. We'll change directions in another few movements, so just try to stay focused. Breathing deep, this is Shuang An, double press. Horizontal. Split hands. We have the owl show. This hook. Turn back to look at the moon. You can take as many steps or as large of a step as you like. The right hand covers, left hand spear fist. Repulse the monkey. The left side opens like a door. The right side presses to the center. Breathing deep. This is repulse the monkey. Stepping back, press, scoop, step, press. On the right side, this is diagonal flying, Sherfei. We have cow, like a ward off. Needle at the bottom of the sea. Try to keep your neck straight no matter how low that you sink. And then San Tong Bei. Fan through back. Lock. Punch. Kick. Lan. Shui. This is Di Bu Hua, is fold knees. Here, keep your back straight. And then we return for a rollback. So change step, breathe deep, rolling back, press to the center. Push. Look left, glance right, double press. Horizontal split hands. Hook. This is a side whip facing parallel, east and west. This is cloud hands in the second section. So turning to press. Step and press. Number 2, press. Step and press. Number 3, press. Turning, step, and press. This is Gao Tan Ma. We're going to turn 90 degrees facing west. Make sure I'm still on the camera. This is pat the high horse, avoid, make contact. Turning, grip your foot, balance. And we're going to do Gao Tan Ma number 2. This is turning directly in line with the south. Balance. Turning one more time, facing east. The left side scoops, brushes. When you press, press to the center. Brush knee. C-step. Palm press. brush knee, straight step, punch. We're gonna turn 180. This is Fen Shen Pi Shen Shui. Step square, long, open. Shui is focus, power. This is Zhou Hua, left, deflect, gripping the foot, kicking. Da Li is big rollback. Keep your back and your neck straight the whole time. Even when we sink, the spine should be lined up correctly. Embrace the tiger. The left foot steps behind the right. This is scoop the moon from the ocean. Stepping back, pull with the left hand, kick with the left foot. We're going to turn 1, 2, 3, facing the same direction. Pull with the right hand, kick with the right foot. We're going to turn 45 degrees, do west, block, punch, kick. Lan, shui, rufeng. Press, press. Opening to the north. This is carry tiger to the mountain. Bring the right foot to the left foot. The left foot forms a T or kobu. Step to the square shape. Palm press to the center. Breathing deep. This is rollback. This is the beginning of the third section. Join the palms together. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split. Hook. This is a side whip. We're parallel. And this is wild horse parting is made. Left hand, left shoulder. The right side rises up. We step forward. Breathing deep. Right hand covers the left shoulder. Up through the center, the left side comes. Breathing again. One more. Wild horse parts its mane. Number 3. Breathing to roll back. Press. We're facing east. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Split hands. We have hook. Side whip. Facing east-west parallel this way. This is Yu Yan Chuan So. This woman working at the loom. So looking first, turning 270, we have cover, press, breathing. Turning 90 to the corner, press. Looking first, and then stepping 270 backwards. Press. Left, grasp the sparrow's tail. Press down. Step forward. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split hands. We're facing due north. Hook. This is a corner whip. So I'm turning 90 degrees. This is snake creeping down. When we return to the center, Di Long, Jinji Tu Li, and on the other side, grip the foot, breathing deep. This is Jinji Duli. And we have Repulse the Monkey. 1, 2, 3. Opening to the side. This is Shirfei. It's identical to the second section. Shoulder bump. Expanding. And on this one, the left hand is the needle at the bottom of the C. Sen Tong Bei. Block, punch, kick. Step forward, Lan is open. Shui is punch. Divu Hua, keep your neck straight, relax your tailbone. So like your spine is on an elevator, just going straight up and down. Change step, breathe deep, roll back. Ji, An, Zhou Gu, You Pan, Shuang An, Keng Li Shou, Diao Shou. This is a side whip. And this is cloud hands in the third section. So press, press and step. Turning, press, press and step. 3 of 3, press, press and step. On the next one we have hook. This is a corner whip, almost like the second section, except here the right hand covers, the left hand comes up through the center. Snake, flashing his tongue. Return 180, hold with the right side, kick with the right side. Cross kick, grip your foot, step forward to the square, punch. This is a half Dibu Hua. We change step, breathing deep to roll back. Press forward. Long push on. Turn left, glance right. Gather the power for double push. Horizontal split hands from one corner to the next. Hook, we're almost there. Corner whip. This is the second snake creeping down in the third section. And when we return, step square to 7 stars. Step up to 7 stars. Turning 90 degrees facing north. This is Huahu. And now when we turn 180, Bai Lian. Wong Gong Sir, who is open the bow to shoot tiger. Block, punch, kick. Breathing deep, this is Lan. Shui, Ru Feng. Closing the third section, press, press. Turn 90 degrees to the front. This is return tiger to mountain. Roll the wrists to block. Unroll the wrists to punch. Bring the left side back to the right side. The hands connecting in the center. Take a deep breath. How are we doing for time? All right, it's 10 after. Good. How do you feel? Yeah? Thoughts, questions, comments? So, by the way, this class, very, very relaxed. You can just unmute yourself. I think I have it set up that if you just hit your space bar or unmute yourself, you can ask questions anytime. In the meantime, I know that there's a lot of experienced people here, so you just got to kind of hang in there while we at least review some basic concepts. We'll probably do this in the beginning for a number of classes because people drop in and drop out. But I want to get some of you up to at least be able to follow. So this form that we practice is a long form. It's considered a classical style form. It has 153 to 155 postures, depending on how you slice it. And
It takes a while to learn. My teacher said it takes 1 year to learn the form and 2 years to learn the form. And he said the fastest that anyone's ever got it was like able to do the form, understanding the martial arts techniques is 2 years. So I spent 8 years with my teacher for 3 to 5 days a week before he passed, and have been with my now current teacher working into the 8th year as well. Tai Chi takes a long time, so be patient. What we're going to review right here are just a basic set of movements. By the way, for those of you that like to study other martial arts, what I'm teaching with this Tai Chi is should be conceptual, and you should be able to take all the Tai Chi principles, go to another Tai Chi master, and they say, oh, you have good foundation. I don't expect that you'll study with me forever, and I actually expect that you will study with other teachers who are better than me. So my goal is to make you prepared for them, not for my level, but for the next level. So this is just the basic. What we're doing is if we take the feet and we open shoulder width wide, we can just do the first part of the first form. I'll angle a little bit so that you can see it if I'm facing that direction. If we start from Tai Chi Harmony, which is not standard, by the way, most Tai Chi forms starting just from the commencement. And then we do a grasp with sparrow's tail. We step forward and have a ward off, right? We have another drawing a spiral or a cone, grasp with sparrow's tail, stepping forward to ward off. Then the next movement, roll back, is like you're leading something in. If you know the martial arts, this is grabbing a hold of somebody's arm and drawing their power forward. So when we do this, we're turning the feet. But remember, we're practicing trying to be perfect. We're trying to get the perfect movement. The same way people that go to the bowling lane, when they bowl, they want to try to get the 300. So this is the same thing for us. We want to make sure every posture is our neck straight, is our tailbone sunk, are our shoulders relaxed, are the arms round, are the wrists turning at all times throughout all of the movements. This is how when you go to competition, the judges look and say, oh, that person has it correct, because they understand the Tai Chi principles. So for the rollback, when we turn the feet like this is not how anybody is doing self-defense. We're practicing self-defense in the form of practicing how to move and align our feet in this way. If somebody attacks me, if somebody likes to jump at me, I'm not going to say, oh, pardon me, while I roll back by turning my feet like this. I'm going to get out of the way. So this turning is just representative. We're making a line drawing. Almost you can think of it like perfect stick figures of where the things go. And then later, when we have to do that thing naturally and we're surprised, even if we get a little out of shape, we're not at risk for injury because we've been practicing in the correct shape for so long. So let's go back to rollback. When I'm turning my feet this way, 90, this is an alignment exercise. Some schools not turning the feet for rollback, and we actually have a rollback that occurs later in the form where the feet don't turn. So rollback, we turn our square shape 90 degrees and then return it back to the front for press. We have push. Push can be done 1,000 different ways. You can think of it as if you're at the grocery store and somebody comes up and pushes a grocery cart at you and it's full. You can't stop it. You can't dodge left and right. So if you take the power, you can actually recycle it. How many here have ever played the egg toss? Go to summer camp, have some type of scouting event. You know what the egg toss is, right? This is the same. So except we're using a much larger egg. The egg is another person. And as their power or the shopping cart comes towards us, we want to allow the power to remain in the object and recycle it back out to the direction. So that's a push. Press, that's a long wave power. So like a long wave. Press is a short wave power, right? This kind of like a stapler, right? It just does the one thing. So all these movements have a meaning. We have roll back, we have press, we have push, look left, glance right, double press, split, hook, whip. let's actually do those 8 movements 4 times. I think last week, maybe the week before, we did our closing Qigong using Tai Chi. So this, we're gonna sort of just repeat these 4 movements going 4 directions. So I'm gonna start facing away, but for the other 3 times, I'll be facing somewhere where you can see. So starting from the center, we're just gonna open to the side. And if we do grasp the sparrow's tail, step forward to ward off, and then breathing, grasp the sparrow's tail, ward off. This is roll back, turning 90. Connect the palms. This is press, push, look left, glance right, double press. Split, hook, side whip, and then bring your feet back together. Now we're facing the east. So the same, if I open, I can go into grasp the sparrow's tail, ward off, grasp the sparrow's tail, ward off. This is roll back. Join the palms together. This is press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split hands. Hook. Whip. And then I bring my feet back together. Now I'm facing south. So I open the left side. We can do commencement and then starting. Yep. So you can face any way you like. We're just doing it 4 times, 4 directions. Ward off, breathing, grasp the sparrow's tail, go at your own pace, ward off, breathing deep the whole time, roll back. Check to see if your neck is straight. Are the shoulders relaxed? Is the tailbone, do you still have the feeling of the anchor sinking into the earth? Your tailbone connecting to the center of the earth. Horizontal split hands. Now I'm facing east. And the same, if I step shoulder width wide, I can do grasp the sparrow's tail, ward off, grasp the sparrow's tail, ward off. Without turning my feet, roll back, press, push, look left, glance right, double press, split, hook, side whip, and we're just where we started. So I found a video last night actually of me practicing these 8 basic movements that I think I'm going to put up on YouTube for beginner people that would like to get caught up with that movement. So I don't want to spend too much time on it today. Although that's going to be for people that are just learning the form to be able to follow along, because there'll be a lot of movements that have all kinds of turning and interesting stuff in it. Before we continue, thoughts, questions, comments? Let's look at something from the second section, or from the third section, but it appears in the second section. This is pat the high horse. In the Mandarin, the name for it is Gao Tan Ma, and it's a big horse. Tan Ma is a big horse, and Gao is like pat, something like this. So imagine there's a big horse. So this is coming up, by the way, this is for advanced people. For new people, you can just follow along. So we're facing west for this posture. It doesn't matter which direction we're going, and it comes off of single whip. We're going to take the left side and clear it out, right? So if I'm facing one side, my left hand and left foot doing this half circle. And then after they make this half circle, my right hand and left foot make another half circle. So if you can imagine, let's see if I can, no, I'm not going to try it here. Annotation, because I can draw on the screen. I just was messing with this yesterday. So left side, right side. Let's try this again. So from hook and whip, my left side clears back. Now my right hand and left foot go forward. So from here, left side, right side. Even if you haven't done it before, try it. Try the movement. So imagine you're standing like this and something is coming towards you. You want to move it out of the way. And then you want to step back in to reach to the center. And then from here, we're simply standing on the left foot and turning. So this is with a little bit of martial arts, with a little bit of speed and power. We block, reach through the center, kick, right? This is pat the high horse. So here, we clear. You're reaching through and then turning. So if there's another person in front of you, what's happening, right? It's Mark, that's good. Try not to let your power pull your center. Imagine you're one thing, and if you kick, it doesn't leave. Otherwise, it looks very good, very powerful. Don't try to make the power. You're already powerful enough. Try to make the structure, the control. So if there's a person in front of you and they're attacking you, the power is coming towards the center. The first thing we do is avoid. We clear all of this, whatever's in front of us. We just simply move it out of the way. And then the next step is we're reaching into the center. And then lastly, this should feel like a little bit of a stretch. You should feel from your rear foot to your fingertips is stretched. And then we let that stretch unwind. Here. So if I use the bag, if we assume that this is another person, Gao Tan Ma looks like this. As they reach into my center, as they reach to my power, I can cover. I'm going to reach back into their center and this turn. We've covered this in the past, by the way, both in Malibu and in Westwood, different classes. This is actually one of my favorite ones. That's right, Mark, that's good. Same thing, watch your hip. Try not to let your hips, try to keep it completely, in alignment. Relax your tailbone. So this is like Muay Thai for people that like Muay Thai. The nickname for Muay Thai boxing is called the art of 6 limbs. Right? Because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, but you have elbows and knees, right? And Muay Thai, it's kickboxing, but they can use a knee. So this is like a Muay Thai. If we cover, we reach through and kick. And this step coming from behind, from back here to here, has a lot of power, right? So from the other side, avoid, make contact, advance. Again, from hook and whip, even if I'm just standing, I can avoid, make contact, advance. So from hook and whip, half circle, 2 half circles, full circle. All right, let's go slow. We'll break it. Question. Hang on, I gotta do something for my audio. Yeah, go ahead, Charlotte.
How do you make sure that you're not leaving your gate too open? Because it feels like you kind of, when you're doing that second step of reaching up, if your left arm is too far back, you're sort of wide open on the side.
Yes, that's a good question, but we have to remember the other person's gate, right? It's okay for me to leave the back door open if the perimeter is secure. So what I mean by that is, if I'm facing my opponent in this way, and their arms are here, right? If they're doing this, they're attacking me in this way, right? When I cover this, once I've moved that out of the way, here, they're not in my gate. My gate is actually open. It can be open, it doesn't matter. My gate is actually closed to them, to that person, right? So sometime when we have a chance to practice, you'll see the movement. If you imagine another person, you cover their arms. If you're reaching for the neck, the back of the head, the shirt, when you pull here, your side is actually closed. The opponent is, right? Does that make sense? We can examine it more, but this is the basic concept for it. So let's try again. Let's just practice. We can go slow. The left side covers, the left side steps back. Left side steps in, right side reaches. And then when we turn, it's here. So slowly, breathing deep, clearing everything out of the way you don't like, reaching through the center to control, and then when we turn, we move forward. So these three principles in Tai Chi, you can use for every posture. Hua, Na, Da. Avoid, get the bad stuff out of the way. Make contact so that you can have control, and then advance. Avoid. Sometimes TC would call it keep in touch. Advance. 1, 2, 3. We could try the other side, but in this form, the other side is a little bit different. So I'm going to add something. If I face the other direction, so you can see, we have 1, 2, 3. And now for this next one, in line with the north-south, I'm just turning again. So the second one is a much less complex movement. There's Gaotenma 1 and 2. So what is patting the high horse? The names in Tai Chi oftentimes give us some feeling of what's supposed to be happening. Embrace a tiger when you're facing an opponent that has tiger-like qualities. Pat the high horse is when you have to deal with an opponent that's larger. If you have to deal with an opponent that's the size of a horse, we have to be able to take control of their center. So this has a technique, right? If my opponent is larger than me, when I cover whatever's there, when I reach from here, if you see, we can actually go just like a horse, just like the animal namesake, right? You can bring that power up as much as you like. Again, we want to try to keep the structure solid. Let's go 3 more times, and on each time, I'm also going to do the turn. So I'll face this direction, turning to that direction for Gaotenma 1 and 2. So if I start from hook and whip, I make 2 half circles, another half circle, turn, practice your balance, line up your foot mathematically, turn. Let's go again. From hook and whip, cover, reach through, use your whole body to turn. When you step, use your dantian, sink your tailbone, kick. Let's go again. Avoid, make contact, advance. When you step back, avoid, make contact, advance. Again, avoid, make contact, advance, step, kick. This is the basic concept. Anyone have questions, thoughts, ideas? We have about 1 minute left. Go ahead, yeah.
So the way you're using your hand to is different on the second Gaotenma because you're kind of rotating it around this way instead of pulling down this way.
So on the second one, when you turn,
yep.
There's a way to do both of these sort of stylistically. So on the first one, when I turn this, I can imagine I'm controlling somebody's center line, reaching around their back. And when I pull this forward, this other hit is going to hit somewhere on their back and their center, right? But I can also do it like we want to practice a yoga, like we want to make some type of structural art. So when I turn and I reach this other hand simply coming around, and I do it as if I'm holding the sphere, like I'm holding the ball. You can do different things with your feet. The same thing on the second one. So if I do the first one facing the camera, 1, 2, 3, here I have the ball, right? And now the second one the same. When I turn, I'm connecting to the center line. And then when I turn that, it's a mirror of the left and right. Should be here. Right? Let's actually call that good. I have another class coming up, so we can, for Charlotte, for anyone else, We can come back to review Gauten Ma. It's actually a fairly complex movement because it has several parts. It's definitely not as single as hook, right? That's a much more simple movement. So we'll analyze more in the future. In the meantime, let's do just a little bit of breathing. So right from where you're at, just like we did earlier, take a full inhale all the way up. Make it a stretch, your fingertips all the way to the sky, and then exhaling. Like you're gathering the energy. So feel it in your palms, feel it in your hands, and then feel it in your center. Long, relaxed breathing, stretching all the way to all corners, the fingertips always pointing like a ray originating from the hand to all directions. So there's power to the toes, power to the fingertips, power to the head top. And that expansion allows the body to breathe more, allows your rib cage to open more. By pulling your fingertips out to the edges, pulling your toes all the way out to the edges, relaxing your tailbone, you can actually use your limbs to expand your torso to take in more oxygen. So increase your breathing capacity. Go at your own pace. Everyone has different sense of timing. We'll do 2 more. So make it the longest, most relaxed breath of the whole week. It's a Saturday, so if you don't have a busy weekend, you can relax. If you have a busy weekend, you should relax as well. One more, last one, long, deep breath. Relax your shoulders, your tailbone, straighten the neck. Breathe in all the way, stretch the inside of your lungs, and then completely relax on the exhale. Bring the left foot to the right foot. In this case, I'm doing that because it centers me in my camera. And go back into Tai Chi Harmony. Every time you go into Tai Chi Harmony, calibrate. This is a calibration posture. You can use it for standing meditation. The head top is up, shoulders are relaxed, the tailbone is sinking. If you can let the base of the palms connect first. Grip your feet. And then take a second for standing meditation. We leave the eyes at least open 1%. So you can close the eyes, you can leave them open. If you like to close them, at least leave them open a little bit. And move your mind into the center. You only have one center. And when you do that, you should feel your body lines up in a different way. If you can really get your mind into the center, you'll feel your balance improve. So take a long, deep breath right into the middle. And then take a second internally to look at yourself. Using your eyes, you can literally look to the Dantian like you're rolling your eyes downwards to see yourself. Breathing in. And then take the time to smile to yourself, internally or externally. And then check, can you relax your toes? Can you relax your head top? Can you relax your shoulders? Take one long, last deep breath, smiling to yourself. And that's it. Thank you. You can email, call, type if you have questions. I may see some of you later in another class. All right.
Thank you, Brian.
Cool. Thank you.